Hi, my name is jELeeoo. Welcome back to my second channel, and this is the weekly deep dive with jELeeoo. It's good to be back in this game. I was already missing it from last week. This deep dive once again takes place in Magma Core, and you can hear me be frustrated by that because again, this is like the one biome that I really do not like.
Let's get this done, team. We've got quotas to meet.
Does it have to be Magma Core again?
Yeah, unfortunately it does, past me. Anyways, I see the drink here is Rocky Mountain Blast, which allows me to break terrain much easier with my pickaxe, and I decide, you know what, that's going to be very useful. But first, I'm just going to switch to my class before I get to that. This time, I'm going with a Scout. Same suit build as always, 3113. Although, okay, I lied at 3112. I'm going with the Cryo Grenade, though normally I love the Stun Sweeper, but for this particular deep dive, and when I do solo play, I always go Cryo Grenade. For the grappling hook, I have 1113. For the flare gun, I have 223. Once again, you never ever want anything but the recharge speed on your power attack. For the secondary, I'm going with the Zukovs with a 11231 build with embedded detonators. Okay, for my primary is the M1000 Classic with a 13211 and active stability system overclock. I really like electrocuting focus shots, but I have the stun sweeper for that if I want to do electric damage, and also the shield breaking thing. But also, this is going to be more useful in the long run. So yeah, for this deep dive, I'm going with Scout. Fun fact, Scout was like my class back in the day when I first started playing this game. The first like 70 hours of this game I played exclusively as Scout. A lot of it solo. Nice going, me getting that beer mug stuck. But you'll see later on that I have not played Scout in a while, and I'm very rusty as him because I'm failing to do things that I should be doing with Scout. Here we immediately spawn in, and I see a Nemesis there. And really? A Nemesis is a enemy that came exclusive to Season 2. Not exclusive, actually. It's introduced in Season 2, and they're very annoying. They grab you, they fly around, they are basically mini caretakers, and they suck, and I don't like them. They make dwarf noises to, like, lure you in, which is kind of cool. Here we can see my embedded detonators showing up immediately. Basically, when I fire into them, a little icon will appear showing that they're ready to fucking explode, and I press reload, and there they go. They just fucking explode. There I also used my perk, Beastmaster, to tame a Glyphid to me, and that Glyphid's name is Steve. Pretty cool. Anyways, this objective is just simple egg collection and black box, so stuff we've already done, so I can just get into talking about the topic of this stage. This time, I want to talk about... Oh, actually, never mind. First, the Scout has a grappling hook, and a lot of his... You can tell if a Scout is good as a Scout by how they use that grappling hook. Unfortunately, I forgot how to use my grappling hook properly in this recording, which we will see later on. But the grappling hook has insane movement tech, and you gotta master if you want to be a good solo Scout. Anyways, here I am just immediately getting into attacking the Nemesis. Just tedious, really. Anyways, the topic I want to talk about is that it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's almost Christmas. You know, Thanksgiving is a week away, and I probably won't be doing a weekly deep dive because, you know, it's on Thursday. Which, you know, it's unfortunate, but it'll happen. It happens, you know. Or maybe it'll just be late. Who knows? Either way, there's the fucking Nemesis down. Got Bosco to finish it off for me. But I'm very excited for Christmas because it's just the best time of the year. It gets cold, and I'm from fucking Florida. Florida's up. I didn't even know that those could, like, spawn in deep dives. Hot hellhole. I did not know jet boots could spawn in deep dives. Randomly, these boxes will appear emitting a noise, and you'd play Flappy Bird to unlock them, and you unlock jet boots, and they just allow you to fly, and they have a cool off and stuff like that. Here I am getting the first egg. So I'm from Florida. You know, it's hot and miserable, except in December. That's like the only time it's not hot. December and January, really. So it's really nice. You know, here I am using my cryo grenade to just immediately freeze enemies to shatter them with my M1000. I love that weapon. And, you know, another thing I love about Christmas is the atmosphere. It's very cozy, very comfy, and very jolly. I know miserable people are like crabs in a bucket. You know, they'd rather not let other crabs escape. They'd rather drag them back down. If we're going down, we're going down together. But here's the thing: I'm tired of being miserable. I'm tired of the world being miserable. So you know what? Let me fucking enjoy my Christmas. Let me just be happy for this month, and then we can go back to misery. Okay? Here I am, just getting the uplink and the eggs. And if I remember correctly, I have to stop the uplink because there's a swarm coming.
Wonderful timing.
It is wonderful timing. I also had a headache during this recording, which is why I'm going to be very grumpy. Anyways, so yeah, just like, I know it's like, oh, maybe it's invalidating my misery, but like at the same time, sometimes I just want someone to shut the fuck up about their problems and just be happy. I'm not saying that your sadness or misery is invalidated. Here I am just getting absolutely overloaded. I hate these fucking septic spreaders, the guys who do the huge area denial. And then there's an earthquake.
Oh, that's just nice. That's so nice.
There's a wall detonator. This fucking swarm sucks. Thing about Scout is that the grappling hook is great for making a speedy getaway. Anyways, I'm not like invalidating your sadness or misery by saying shut the fuck up and be happy, but at the same time, I'm asking you not to bring the mood down.
Why am I fumbling? I haven't played Scout in forever, and now I'm fumbling at Scout.
Man, I yapped a lot during this mission. But at the like, I'm not trying to invalidate your sadness, but I'm saying, you know, maybe try just being happy just a little bit. You know, fake it till you make it kind of stuff. And if it really is that bad, you know, it's only a month. I don't know what else to say. I'm just tired of everything being so mopey and bad and sad.
Thank you, Steve.
It's real annoying. Anyways, here I am just going through the cave collecting all the shit. I should also mention that I also love Christmas for the gifts, not just receiving gifts, but obviously. Fun song. But not just getting gifts, but obviously, you know, I'm not gonna say no or not enjoy free stuff. I fucking love free stuff. But I also genuinely do like giving people things and seeing them be happy from the thing that I have given them. I like making my friends happy, which is why like more not as much as some of my other friends, but you know, sometimes if a friend's like, man, I wish I could play this game, I'll just fucking get it for him. I don't fucking care. There's all the eggs. I also believe in like this whole principle of reciprocation, you know, that like, you know, if I show that kind of kindness to someone, they'll show it back to me. And you know, sometimes all it takes is just showing them that like, just a simple $5 gift of like a Steam game is enough to show them that you care sometimes. And that's nice. Also, let's be real, Christmas music is such a bop. I'll admit it, I listen to some Christmas music in like June because it's so catchy. I love the cryo grenade. I love how it instantly shatters swarmers. I also really just I just wish I had more than 4 at a time. Here I am just trying to take care of this asshole. But I'm out of fucking ammo. This stage was so like swarm crazy. So here I am just calling the drop pod, and then I
didn't even grab it away. I'm slipping. I'm too used to the other classes now.
True. Here I am just grabbing some nitro after calling for the drop pod just to, you know, get some. But at least I was able to just fully cap myself off with that one resupply I needed to call. Also, unfortunate thing about this build is that I can go through ammo pretty quickly. So it's not a big deal on solo deep dives because you could have the nitro all to yourself, but on team deep dives it could be a problem, so I probably would want to go for another thing. Also, those little worms crawling on the wall explode. So for this stage,
Maybe I should have just gone controller again.
I probably should have, honestly. So for this stage, we have the mini mule as the primary objective, which means we have to do all 3 parts of that specific mission type. For the secondary, I don't remember. It's getting morkite, which is just just a mineral on the wall we just have to deposit into molly. It's real simple. So,
Oh, and I lost my jet boots.
I lost my jet boots. We're gonna repair some mules. We're gonna get some morkite. Anyways, oh yeah, and these fucking explosive plants that I have to. Good, go me. I'm pretty sure I say something here.
The good thing with Scout is that it's like so easy with the grappling hook build that I have to just cancel fall damage because it recharges so quickly that if I fall, I can just hit my middle mouse button and just grapple to safety because I have the grappling hook bound to my middle mouse.
Good going, me. Anyways, next topic I want to talk about is making content for someone else. If you don't know, I make my money by editing for other people's YouTube videos. Right now, it's been a little bit of a dry spell in terms of clients. I only really have one that I work with on a consistent basis, and that is a man called Mo-Side Gaming. He's a pretty cool dude. I like Mo. You know, he's nice to me. He treats me good. We take jokes to each other. I also got him into Deep Rock, which is pretty cool. But it's still very weird because I have nothing. Mo, if you're watching this, I have nothing against you. You're a good guy. I genuinely like editing for you. But sometimes I just don't want to do it. And, you know, it's not because the content he makes is bad or boring or anything like that, or the raw streams that he sends me that I make into YouTube content. But, so, you know, sometimes it's just like work is work and I don't want to do work. You know? I'm not trying to come off as like lazy or anything. By the way, this mission has duck and cover, so more ranged enemies, so I'm gonna be flooded by all these fucking ranged assholes. But at least embedded detonators takes care of them so quickly. Anyways. So yeah, sometimes work is just work, and I just don't want to do it, you know? There's meal number 1, by the way. And it's very weird, but, you know, the benefit of making content for someone else, at least in the case of Mo, is that I've been doing shit with him for so long, like, almost 3 years at this point, that I just fucking, wow, there's so much going on this stage, that I kind of just, like, know the routine by now. Like, he doesn't even ask me for specific editing instructions, or even send me the videos anymore. Like, I just get to choose what VODs of his I edit. I mean, most of the time it is just the most recent. But, like, he trusts me, and I trust him, you know? And that's good. I actually do. I like our business relationship, and also our friendly relationship, because sometimes we do just, like, fucking chill and chat, and I love that. Unfortunately, the other longtime person I was editing for was pretty much the exact opposite. He did not treat me well as an employee, as someone he paid in terms of business relationship. And then most other people I've edited for, it's been just like oddball times. It hasn't been like a consistent basis.
Oh, you fucking bitch.
But it's strange, because like I only got into editing because a friend of mine was like, you know, hey, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. I want you to edit it because I know you have an editing software. I'm like, you know what? Sure. And I started editing for him for free. And that was, you know what? To be fair, we were like very young at the time. Like we were both still in school. But I was like eventually like, dude, I'm not getting paid for this. And I kind of like find your Pokemon shit boring because I don't like Pokemon. And then I just stopped doing it. And then later he's like, you know, I make money now. Can I do this? I'm like, you know what? Sure. And I did it for money. And it wasn't a lot. It was like less than nothing. And then I was like, I want to do it for more money. And he was like, okay, you know what? That's fair. And then I got more money. And now I edit for Mo, who gives me even more money. It's awesome. So, you know, so moral of the story, downside of editing for other people, work, upside, money. So it's basically just work. Interesting. But again, it's not all bad because one, I know how to edit. I mean, I know this is like very lazy editing, but like that's the point, is that this is not meant to be like work for me. I just sit and yap and then I just add the audio into the video and upload that. But like, you know, I'm very familiar with editing now. I've been editing like 7 years, and fucking, it's nice, you know, to just fucking, this is what I'm doing, you know.
Yep, very hesitant.
I'd much rather be editing than I'd much rather be editing for table scraps than make more than that at like a fucking CVS or some shit. I'm already out of ammo. The Zukovs run out of ammo really quickly when you got embedded detonators.
Reference! That was a reference! Oh my gosh, that was such a cool reference!
Why am I geeking out that much? That was a reference to the beta build of Deep Rock. It was originally going to be all medieval themed, and the mule was going to be an actual, like, mule. But now it's called the mule as in mining utility lift engine, or mineral utility lift engine. These fucking earthquakes are really annoying. So So here I have all the things, all the mules repaired, and I have to move on to the next stage of that. But before that, I do want to get all the Morkite, because once the next stage requires that we forego Molly, and you don't want that. So I call a resupply to where the next stage of the salvage mission will take place, and now I set off to get more Nitra and Morkite.
I guess Nitra honestly isn't that like scarce on solo guys because you're always like alone, and I think that the caves are seeded, so they're meant to have a specific amount of Nitra, and I think that specific amount of Nitra is obviously just meant to handle like an actual team of dwarves.
That's so real to me. That's so real. Anyways, going back to making content for other people, it's also weird developing like different editing styles for different people, because like the first guy I edited for was very laid back, like let's play editing, honestly kind of like this, very minimal, very hands off. I remember like playing blackjack while editing his shit. But with, you know, with Mo, I have like various reoccurring bits. I do a lot of face cam zooms on different parts. I do a lot of bad to the bone on when he lights up a cigarette. Sometimes he'll say something that like out of context sounds a little sus. So I add the rock eyebrow raised vine boom video. By the way, so the next part of this mission, Molly is now on that abandoned drop pod. By the way, the context of the mission is really cool. We are basically cleaning up after a team who failed, a mining team who failed. Anyways, so now we just do the black box event, and we're basically just going to have to do that twice in this mission. That's how it works. But anyways, and then there's my style, you know? I do this laid back shit on my second channel, very minimal editing. I can just do whatever I want. And then with the main channel, it's all like fucking fancy video editing, fucking video essay editing style quality with all the fucking layers and shit that requires me to do all the draw mask and shit, and I have like sometimes I do storyboards and shit. You know, it's very interesting learning all these different styles for different people and basically broadening my range as an editor. These fucking enemies suck, but thankfully the M1000 has this awesome thing where if you hold left click, you do a focus shot.
Oh, it's actually very convenient.
And you can just like fucking do insane damage at the cost of 2 ammo per bullet. Anyways, here we have to set up a cable to the drop pod, and we basically do the black box sequence again.
Fuck off, Jesus Christ.
I'm very grumpy because of the earthquakes and duck and cover. It's very annoying. Here I am just hunting things on the window. On the ceiling of the cave. Why did I say window? Anyways, here I am hammering away. Another cool thing about the Scout is that he has that big flare gun that just, you shoot it into the wall and it lights up a large portion of the cave, so I don't have to rely on the flares too much. Note to anybody who's aspiring to play this game and be a Scout, your job as a Scout is to keep a cave lit for your team at all fucking times. Never, ever, ever let a cave go unlit. Don't like waste flares, obviously. If it's just like a hallway, just throw a flare. You don't need to shoot one. But if it's like a big room that you're going to be spending time in, immediately just get on that flare game. Also remember that you have a grappling hook and it's very easy to just grapple away to an empty space that isn't flooded with enemies when you're getting flooded with enemies. Obviously it doesn't apply here because I have to stay in this area. And unfortunately the septic sprayer is being a fucking bitch ass. I hate this fucking enemy.
Where are you? Piece of shit.
Yeah. Anyways, now that we did that tower defense section, basically, we now just have to wait out that little timer for the drop pod to power up. I decided to grab one more resupply, and then I also told Bosco to take care of that septic spreader, and here I am just biding time. It's very hard to do. The thing with the M1000 is that it gets harder to hit things while you're on the move. That's why I have my overclock to remedy that, but even then it's kind of a problem. This is definitely like, this is the sniper weapon basically. But it's really cool. I like this weapon. This is probably one of my favorite weapons in the game. I also know it's a huge fan favorite. It's not my favorite weapon though. I think my favorite weapon is either Driller's Cryo Cannon or Engineer's Smart Rifle. That's really cool. And that's that stage.
Pretty sure that's not a bad overclock.
I'm pretty sure that's not that bad of an overclock as well. This one's annoying. It's going to have cave leech clusters, so a lot of fucking cave leeches. And this one we're doing the resonance scan primary, meaning we get to do both parts of that. So we're going to have to scan a bunch of crystals and then something really fun. And then as the secondary, we just got to collect some eggs, I'm pretty sure. Was it eggs? Yeah, eggs. Anyways, here I am immediately holding up my ping so I can check for cave leeches, because you want to pretty much always be on that. Also, when this is the primary, when the crystals are the primary, there's no... These caves have, like, very maze-like orientations, so there's no rough dirt to dig through. You pretty much never have to dig that much in these missions, which is kind of cool. Anyways, next thing I want to talk about is PewDiePie's book plan for this year. I still watch PewDiePie. I think he's doing pretty cool. He's on his tech shit. I love that for him. I respect PewDiePie for the life he's living. I find that's awesome. And at the beginning of the year, he said he wanted to do a book plan of like you read along with him, and it's purely nonfiction philosophy. And at first I was thinking of following that, but then I started reading fiction, so. But I was thinking of maybe doing it myself next year for 2026. 2026, I only read nonfiction books, mostly philosophy, because I want to get into that, and I have a good amount of philosophy books. You know, the only one I've really read is Selected Discourses of Epictetus. And you know, that was pretty cool, you know, and you know, I have a huge book anthology of like Plato and Socrates' greatest works, just haven't read it. So I'd like to get into that, you know. I also don't have to spend money because I already have it, you know. I think I actually have a good amount of philosophy books that I just haven't read around the house somewhere. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to just read nonfiction for an entire year. Oh, here. This. I remember this. Fucking hell. That actually fucking spooked me. But again, it's always the times you never check that they show up. But that'll serve as a fucking reminder for me. Here we have an oppressor jump scare, and I immediately get to work on killing it. Get to work on killing these. I forgot to mention, but I have a Steve in this round. You can only do the Beastmaster thing on, like, normal-ass Glyphid grunts. And slashers and shielders, which are, like, variants of Glyphid grunts. Here I am getting the second egg, and, I mean the first egg, yeah. And there is a swarm.
You cannot be any slower. You really cannot be any slower.
She really is slow. Also, fun fact about these missions is that once you do all the crystal scans, swarms stop. You no longer have swarms for the mission, because it's waiting for you to do something else, which I won't spoil. But yeah, I want to get into I want to do my philosophy arc, because I fuck hard with philosophy in, like, media. Here I am lighting and just scanning for things.
There's two?
There's two menaces, but I fucking take care of them both. But like, I want to get into my philosophy arc. I want to, because I fuck hard with, you know, pieces of media that fuck hard with philosophy, basically, you know, like the Xeno series, obviously, Disco Elysium, there's that game called Tormented Planescape, which is like the inspiration for Disco Elysium, that, like, it's been on my list for a while. I've been taking note of it. There's also Kentucky Route Zero, which I played this year, which is not, like, necessarily philosophical, but it gets deep with, like, thought things. Yep. There I actually fucking found a cave leech. Proof of my expertise. That was a terrible misuse of the M1000. When it comes to using this rifle, when it comes to using Scout in general, Scout's one big downside is that he is terrible dealing with crowds. The one thing you want to do as a Scout is you also want to focus down the big bad assholes. So like oppressors in a swarm, or like bulk detonators. Your job in the team is to take care of those guys, because Scout has great weapons for single target damage and specifically critical weak points. So, you know, the oppressor's back. Scout is pretty good at handling those things. In terms of, anyways, back to philosophy, in terms of in terms of what exactly I want to do in terms of like philosophy, like what kind of philosophy I want to get into. I want to get into not pretty much all the greats, because I never like really actually, I don't know why, but my school didn't really teach me much about, you know, Socrates or Diogenes or Plato or any of them. Most of the stuff I learned was from not that, you know. I want to learn more about these people. I've never read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And then after I do that, I want to try getting into, you know, Eastern philosophy, like, you know, some of that Japanese shit. What's it called? Sun and Steel, about like a sound mind and sound body. Some of that spiritualism shit. I remember there's like this.
If you killed a cave leech, that'd be awesome. That'd be really fun.
I hope the drill elevator did correct your cave leech. I'll talk about the drill elevator in a second. But I remember, I can't remember if it was Japanese or Chinese, but there's this idea of like the 4 concepts of like what makes you happy, what you can do for the world, how the world can pay you, and something else. And that very much interested me. I took note of it. I want to learn more about it. Anyways, this is the drill elevator. It's an elevator drill, and this shit is awesome. This is so epic. They just casually dropped this with Season 5, and it's like easily one of my favorite mission types. It's up there. I immediately befriend a Steve, who shows up here. By the way, Steve has a mod that makes it easier for me to tell him apart from other glyphids. I got that going on. But yeah, this is the drill elevator. You essentially keep it from breaking down while riding down it, and take care of enemies above. It's really cool. I love this shit. This looks awesome. Look at me go. Anyways, so yeah, like if you think that book plan looks awesome to you at all, looks awesome to you. Like, if you think it would be cool for like me to maybe, you know, retrospect my nonfiction book journey for 2026, you know, leave a comment below if you are watching this. Are you? Who knows? And you know, fucking let me know if you think that's a cool idea. If you want to start book club with me, a nonfiction, mostly philosophical book club. I have like some nonfiction books that aren't related to philosophy around the house somewhere that I could probably read about. But yeah, that's my book plan. Here we are at the Morkite Geode, which this thing is drilling to. It's pretty. Look at this. Isn't this so pretty? Anyways, now that we're down here, we just get these green things. We get 7 of them and deposit them into Molly, and that's the end of the mission. But like, yeah, that's really cool. This is like, I'm sorry, I'm so taken back by these by this backdrop. That's awesome. Upon immediately calling for the drop pod, it gives you jet boots. But these jet boots aren't like other jet boots. They have extremely quick cooldown and stuff. They're called jet boots like Mark II. And here I am playing a game called Chase the Flare, where I shoot my flare straight up and I try and chase it. It's really cool. Unfortunately, Molly has to climb up that entire fucking long-ass shaft. Very annoying. So you have to like wait for her slow ass. But I'll just use that time to go to the actual drop pod. Here I am lighting up the space around it. This is where I killed that one cave leech that jump scared me. And then here's where do I do it? I have a realization. Yeah, I have a realization called resupply, because it would be a huge flex to escape this mission with full health and shield and ammo and all that. And I decided to light myself on fire because I think it'd be funny. Here I am checking my ammo on my weapon, and where is it? Come on.
Flex on. Full ammo, full health.
That's a huge W on my end.
Looked up at the very beginning because I forgot to snap grapple away.
True. I was fumbling because I don't remember snap grappling. Snap grappling is basically just aimlessly grappling into one direction to just get away from enemies. It's also not that much performance points, unfortunately. Season 1 be like that. Anyways.
Hooray! Hooray!
Oh, here, my dwarf is leveled up enough that I can promote him for a 3rd time. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll do the promotion with jELeeoo. Anyways, yeah, that was the weekly deep dive with jELeeoo. I hope you guys liked it. If you like these, you know, like, comment, all that. If you have if you have a conversation topic you want me to talk about on these, you know, leave a comment and I will. Next time, I'm obviously gonna have to forced to play Gunner no matter what, because, you know, it'd be rude of me to not give Gunner his due recompense or whatever. But yeah, that's all for this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.